You know, when you got a world champion boxer named Mikey Garcia who just took the biggest risk in boxing fighting Errol Spence Jr. and he came up short, you do one thing and one thing only. You give him goddamn quesadillas. Welcome to Food Truck Diaries. All right, my man. You're not on a diet or anything, right?
Nah, no diet right now.
You into quesadillas?
The only thing, I don't do cheese.
So you want a quesadilla without cheese? Team probably should have known that before. It's all good, man. We'll make this work. I'll do the chimichurri. Let's do the buffalo. And then I gotta do the loaded corn. See, once I get started, it's like a snowball effect. I can't stop. No one's stock fell or went higher. I think during that fight. Like for you is more, and correct me if I'm wrong on this. For you is more about like a legacy fight.
Yeah.
Like you've accomplished a ton of stuff.
Yeah.
So then where do you go from there?
You
go for these
biggest fight.
Game changers.
Yeah. That's what I did. You know, I took on the biggest fight, the biggest challenge available, moving up 2 weight classes from lightweight all the way to welterweight, and not just against any welterweight, but against the top guy in the division.
Some say best pound for pound.
You know, one of the best, yeah, if not the best.
Top three. There's argument for that.
Yeah, there's an argument for the top 3. So I challenged myself that much because there was nothing else really around the other weight classes to do that.
Yeah, I spoke to you before the fight. You were the one kind of gunning for this fight. I remember you and I talked when you fought Easter. And I was like, what after this? And off camera, you're like, Spence. I was like, dude, you're crazy.
Yeah. Everybody thought I was crazy, and no one believed I was actually serious.
You believed it 100%
I believed
too.
100%, and I know I could actually come back and do it. I just needed a little more time, and I know I'll be back.
Yeah.
I do want to get another title in that welterweight division, so I know I'm gonna be back. And
was there anything that surprised you about Spence? Because everyone says how good he is, and most of the boxing heads around here, especially on the Showtime team, are like, dude, it's such a tough fight for Mikey. And going in, I think Mikey gets it done via decision.
Yeah, look,
I'm a little biased.
I got the skills to do it, but I just didn't have the skills or the speed at that night.
This was my takeaway, and you tell me what you saw actually in the ring. Is I always thought Errol Spence was good until I saw you guys fight. I went, oh well, he's definitely top 2 in the world pound for pound. And I actually have him as the favorite over Crawford.
I think so too. I think so too. I had seen him before, obviously on video. I've seen him on fights, but then once I was in the ring, he does everything very well. I thought I was gonna be able to do better.
You're a technician, man.
And he was just—he's
a technician too.
His height and reach makes things more difficult.
Yeah.
His southpaw stance makes things more difficult for me. And he's on top of it. He knows exactly what he's doing at the right time. Sometimes I try to counter, and he was already taking a little slight step back where I wasn't in reach. Now I'm not even swinging because now it's just gonna look like he's making me miss. So I just held back. Other times he'd be on top of me, and right when I figured I was gonna catch him, he'd just take a small little step to the side, and now again he's out of reach. It's
I think I underestimated his IQ.
Yep.
Like I knew it was good, but when I saw him fight you, and because you're the gold standard for me when it goes IQ, fundamentals, like you're the Tim Duncan of boxing, man. So when you were in with him, I was like, oh damn, he's the real deal.
I didn't feel that I was gonna have those negative effects because of the weight, but it did. You just see it. In the lower weight classes, you've seen me, and I box great. I box beautifully. I can get on the inside and outside. I can use angles, footwork, everything. But I just wasn't able to put it together that night. And like I said,
did you know like after like round 4, you're like, oh, this is gonna be a long night?
It was after like the 5th, 6th round. So my brother asked me, hey, how you feeling? You got to pick it up. I'm like, no, I'm good. I'll pick it up. And I did try to move forward, but then he started boxing. He started boxing using that reach. And then when I tried to box, he started walking forward, but at his distance, his reach, not to where I was gonna be able to actually get inside or counter. He was very good. He knew exactly what he was doing. He had a game plan for everything. He was a step faster, a step quicker every single time.
So like round 9, obviously you're way behind on the calls.
Yes, I'm pretty behind. I tried to take a round off. Actually, it was like the 9th round. I was feeling like, fuck, I gotta reset everything.
What am I gonna do? Yeah, because
What
you gotta get a knock.
Yeah. So I tried to take the day off.
Thank you.
That's yours. Tried to take a round off, and he put a lot of pressure that round. So it kind of seemed like he was just on top. He knew.
Yeah, he knew. He's like, no,
so he just jumped on me. So then it was just kind of like, you know what? Let me get out of this round. My brother comes in and says, hey, dude, we're gonna stop the fight. Like, you're not doing anything. I'm like, no, I just took the round off. Let me show you. I tried, but it just wasn't enough.
When he was like, hey, I might stop the fight, I wanted to stop it earlier just because I was like, oh, okay. Oh, yes, thank you. Because I just have 7 dishes. See, I almost want to stop it early because I'm like, all right, he went for this legacy fight. This would make him an all-time great. You're talking about one not that you're not win or lose,
that would have been
I'm just
big,
saying that's like
accomplishment.
you're talking about.
Yeah.
I mean, we're building statues right now.
Yeah.
So when that didn't happen, I'm like, oh, cool. Let's just get out. Like, why keep going? Let's
get
out.
During the fight, and he's my brother, and he stopped other fights before, right?
I know.
He stopped other fights, where his fighter is completely, outgunned.
Just outmatched. It's just not his night.
It's not his night, so he'll stop it. Or if he's getting hurt, if he really got hurt, got knocked down, got stunned a couple of times, my brother will stop the fight. In this case, my fight, it was a little different because, and no single point was I actually hurt or stunned. Like, I could feel the size, I could feel the power, hits very hard, but he never clipped me to where I was gonna, buckle or feel dizziness or anything like that. At no point. So when he did ask me, I'm like, no, I'm fine. I'm not hurt. Yeah. He's winning. He's beating me, but I'm not hurt. In fact, and I haven't told anybody else, but Lipinets hits harder than him. Lipinets stunned me 2 occasions.
Wow. Really?
And maybe I got caught cleaner.
Does he say was it maybe the placement?
Maybe I got caught cleaner. Yeah. But with Spence, even though he was on top of me, at no single point did he ever clip me enough to where I could feel it like, wow, like, oh my God, this guy is gonna hurt me. With Lipinets, there was 2 occasions like that. Okay, well, let me help you with something. I don't know what this is, but here are the churros, the desserts.
Which one's this?
This one's a buffalo.
I wouldn't have been mad if your brother stopped it. Like, if I have an older brother, and I'm sure many of times he would have stopped my fights if he could have. Just because it's almost a different relationship, you know what I'm saying? Because my thing, you weren't getting hurt. I didn't think you were getting hurt. I was just like, oh, it's not his night.
It's not
like
his
this, I thought Mikey was gonna win, didn't happen. Let's just get him out of there.
Yeah.
Like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
Tried, didn't work out. Let's move on.
I felt like you always have that chance. One punch, you might help you, might turn it around. Who knows? During an exchange, I might land one punch that might, help me and win the fight. So because I was not hurt, I always thought and believed that maybe that chance could still, come. And that's why I didn't want him to stop. He asked, and I said, no, I'm fine. I'm not hurt.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you're a fighter. I'm a fighter, and I'm in there. I know what I'm, against, and I'm not hurt. Even though he's beating me, but I'm not hurt. Who knows? I could still land that one shot. That was
sure
my.
You've done it before in all your career.
There's been other times where I've been dropped. There's been times where I've been dropped. 2 occasions I was dropped, and of course he's not gonna stop the fight. And I was actually dropped, but I came back and I won.
Was this loss? How hard did you take it? Because you knew the odds the odds were not good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, obviously you're Mikey Garcia, so you thought wholeheartedly you were gonna win. I thought you were gonna win.
I thought I was gonna win, man.
When it didn't happen, because of it was such a crazy goal. When you think about it, we realize how good Errol Spence Jr. is. Yeah. Does it soften the blow?
Look, I had never wanted to win a fight as much as that one. I just wanted to win that fight so much, and I believed I could do it so much. But then, right after the fight, it wasn't as hurtful to lose, because just like you said, who I faced, one of the top pound for pound fighters in his division. I'm not supposed to be in that. It was just something so crazy that it wasn't as bad as I probably would have hurt if it was someone else that I had lost to.
Yeah.
But because it was him and in his division, where I was really just doing something way crazy than
crazy. I mean,
crazy.
Crazy.
It wasn't as bad. I'm like, I tried. I did my best. You know, we had a lot of fans here. You know, I felt bad that I couldn't perform to the best, you know, that I wanted. That's okay, you know.
But I don't think anyone, whether they're fans or haters of yours, was like, God, you see Mikey's fight? No one. I think even the haters, like, Jesus Christ, you see Mike trying to take on Errol Spence Jr., man?
Yeah.
That dude's tough as fuck.
And like I said, I'll be back. I know I'll be back. I was a little disappointed, you know, of course, but
when you say back at that weight division,
I'll be back at 147.
Really?
Yeah.
And fight who?
Will. I'll get a return fight. I'll get someone at 47, but then after that, I feel that I want to jump right back in and fight for a title. I really want to get another division, another title.
Didn't you just vacate one of your belts?
Now, some people will misunderstand and misinterpret the reason why I vacate.
Some people are going to say, oh, he doesn't want to fight Lomachenko,
Exactly.
right?
Look,
That's the elephant, small elephant.
The WBC will have to require me to defend my next fight against Campbell. He's been the mandatory challenger. So my next fight wouldn't even be Lomachenko. It would have to be Campbell.
No matter what, yeah.
No matter what. I don't plan on defending my title in my next fight. I wanted to fight at 140 or possibly even 147 if I find the right opponent. So the WBC requires me to either announce that I'm vacating the belt,
yeah, or fight.
Or fight. I would love a fight with Lomachenko. I would love a fight with him.
At what weight?
I wouldn't be able to do 135 in my next fight. I really don't want to. But if that's what it's gonna take, you know, then I would do 140, and then maybe the next one come down to 35.
If I'm Lomachenko, I feel like this fight would benefit him more than it would you. You're the bigger name, coming off the Errol Spence fight, even though you lost. It's not.
Yeah.
So I feel like he might need, he needs to come up.
Look, he's been mentioning my name after all his fights for the last 4 or 5 fights.
But he has to, because you can't punch down. You can't be like, yeah, Lomachenko, let's do it. Like, dude, you just fought Errol Spence.
He has to, and that's part of the build-up, part of the promotion behind marketing and all that. But, I mean, in when we come to the business and actual, just all honesty, Top Rank, and I had a fallout, so it's kind of difficult to get that fight done.
A nightmare. Let's be real, it'd be a nightmare.
Look, it took them
a nightmare.
How many years to get Mayweather, Pacquiao,
It's the number one problem in boxing.
That becomes a problem.
Like, look at Wilder, Joshua, Wilder, Fury. Like, when the promoters get involved and they have their agendas, it's the number one problem in boxing. Listen, you held out for 2 years?
2.5. 2.5. Just so that I could finally be free and guide my career the way I want to guide it, When a promoter gets involved, and he has to get involved, obviously, I mean, he's handling Lomachenko or his fighters, but when the promoter managers get involved too much, they're looking for the best interest of themselves first.
100%.
Before they think about the fans and the sport and the fighters. They look at their interests first. And that's when things get really complicated. Out of 147, where I would love a title, the guys there are with PBC.
Yeah.
They're working with PBC, except for Crawford. Crawford, because he's not with PBC, he has to fight whoever Top Rank finds. And I'm saying finds. And I'm saying finds. Because they don't have the roster. They're reaching.
Khan, it hurts him because
Benavidez.
Yeah, you look at his
when he fought Lundy, Delorme, these guys are not gonna build his legacy. So he's a great fighter. I've said, Terence Crawford is one of the best pound for pound fighters.
So good, yeah.
He's a great fighter, terrific fighter. But because he doesn't have these right opponents in the roster, it's gonna be very hard for him to prove to the fans, how good and how great he could be.
I think also delays his superstardom, like with his star power and his skill set and his story. Like, he should be way bigger, but he's not fighting anybody.
He's not fighting anybody.
So people really, it's a bummer, man.
It is, but like I said, that's why his promotion has to face him against whoever they can find.
With Lomachenko too, it's like people.
Similar situation.
Same situation. Like, you look at the guys he's fighting, it's the best they have to offer and they find, but you're not, and Lomachenko's so goddamn skilled, it's not even funny. He might be the most skilled guy on the planet. You look at his background, his footwork, it's insane. The fight between you and him would be amazing. But then when you look at his body of work, it's like, you're not going to stop your Friday or Saturday night to tune into that fight. I'll stop it if he fights Mikey Garcia.
He just fought, last week. And not that I'm downplaying him or anything. but his opponent, not in his prime, not a challenge, not a threat. But that's who he could find. That's the opponent, the best available that they could find.
Boxing, dude.
You know?
That's where he's at.
And he's also not gonna just sit around and wait until someone worthy jumps in the ring. He's gonna stay active.
It's not Lomachenko's fault. It's
No,
not
no,
your
it's not,
fault.
it's
It's
not.
not Wilder's. Like, people get mad at, I think, Joshua because the way Eddie Hearn handles him and how he hasn't fought Fury or Wilder. I'm like, you don't understand.
No.
Any guys at your level, Joshua, Wilder, Fury, Lomachenko, Crawford, Errol Spence Jr., no one's afraid of anybody.
No.
They want the fight. But the promoters' agendas make it tough to get this done.
Yep.
So the reason why Fury and Wilder didn't happen, and that my heart's black in boxing right now because of that. The reason that didn't happen, because the promoters. Of course Fury wants that fight.
Hell yeah.
Of course Wilder wants that
Hell
fight. It's heartbreaking, man. You missed 2 years because of shenanigans.
Talking about those 2.5 years that I was out. When I was going through the litigation, the depositions, all that, legal troubles, I learned a lot on how the sport works and what the promoters' agendas are like, and what they tell you is not really what they mean. And I learned so much that I have a better understanding for how the business is run and why it is that some of these fights aren't gonna get done. You know, and it sucks because the fans would love to see certain fights. We as fighters would love to fight everybody that's worthy of
The
fighting.
fighters want it.
But then when the promoter manager get involved too much, like I said, to that extent, it complicates things. You know, to where it's almost impossible, and sometimes it is impossible to get it done.
So how do you fix it? What would you do? Knowing that you've gone through the process, you kind of know.
If Lomachenko were to break away from Top Rank, that fight would be done like that.
You guys would fight in 3 months.
We would do it so easy.
So easy.
You know, if Crawford had not re-signed to Top Rank and instead made alliances with PBC, he would have all these guys that he's calling for. He'd have all these guys there. He'd have the Thurman, the Danny Garcia, the Spence, you know, the Broner, whoever, all the guys out here. He would have access to everybody. But because it's not like that, it complicates things.
So if you're Crawford, though, why would you re-sign that? If you're Fury, why would you sign that? If you're Joshua, why do you let these guys do it?
Sometimes at that point, it becomes a financial decision. You know, if you are making X amount of money, and all of a sudden they're doubling your pay guarantee, and
you're not fighting
those kind of guys,
yeah.
then sometimes it makes sense that route. You know, I don't know what Crawford, you know, has or what they offered him, what he's got. I don't know what Wilder and Fury or all these guys have in mind, but I mean, for me, I just feel like at this point, if I choose to fight the biggest challenge available, the money's gonna be there anyways.
Yeah, no matter what.
I mean, I've already done enough to where I'm not fighting just for the money.
You're in a different category, though, because Wilder obviously has a lot to prove because he hasn't fought Joshua. He went to a draw against Fury, which a lot of people think he lost the fight. And, you know, Joshua hasn't beaten Fury or Wilder. So those guys have so much to prove. So it's like, you'd think that'd be the #1 agenda. Or like with Thurman and Crawford and Errol Spence Jr., they might be pound for pound #1. I don't know. You guys have to fight each other.
They gotta fight each other, eliminate each other.
Because I think Thurman, the rumor is, and it's a pretty solid rumor, him versus Pacquiao's next.
I heard Thurman and Pacquiao are very good right now about, you know, they're working on that fight. That's a good fight. I think that's a good fight. I think Thurman is still a threat. He didn't perform the best, maybe. It was a long layoff, surgery. Right? So I get that, but he's still a threat.
He's still a threat. I think it's actually smart because I think if you were to jump in there with a big dog, it could be
he could have lost.
Yes.
You know, if Thurman had come back and fought someone else, I mean, we wanted to win. You know, Josito's with our fighters. Oh, yeah. Josito's my guy. Of course, we wanted Josito to win, and we thought he definitely had a chance against Thurman that's coming back and consider the layoff, the surgery, all that. So that was our best shot against Thurman. And he did very well for a few rounds.
Yeah, for
sure.
sure.
And he had him hurt a couple times, and it was a good fight, good performance.
Showed up, yeah.
But like you said, that was a smart choice by Thurman, because if he had chosen to fight someone else, it could have been a loss, and now he doesn't get the Pacquiao. He doesn't get those big fights.
I agree.
You know, so it was smart. But I think Thurman Pacquiao is a good fight.
What do you think of, especially coming off your last fight, if Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford? Spence probably be the favorite.
I think Spence is a naturally bigger guy, stronger guy, and that's the only difference. Because as far as skills, even though Crawford is highly skilled, Spence is not falling behind.
No,
he's right
he's
there.
Right there, yeah.
You know, he's right there.
And again, I always knew Spence was good, but until I saw him versus you, I was like, oh yeah.
So
you got Porter too, because I think they're doing Porter.
They might do Porter and Spence is what I heard.
I'm almost positive that's next.
That's what I heard, that they're working on Porter and Spence. Stylistically, Porter, if he fights like he has in the past, not this last one.
He makes it a bulldog
fight. He makes
fight?
a bulldog fight. That's gonna be a good fight, and
Agreed.
that's his only chance.
Agreed.
Because if he stays on the outside, he ain't got. He's too short. He's too
I
small.
agree.
He's got to get inside, dig deep, and just smother Spence with punching, with volume. Just stay on top of him. That's what he has to do.
I think after what Spence, how he performed in the fight against you, I think it opened a lot of people's eyes. Like, Jesus Christ, he's that good.
He is.
And then if he was able to do that to Porter, dude, I mean.
Then there'd be no doubt, you know. I mean, he has all the skills and all the talent to do it.
Now, when you do a fight, do you always buy a car after the fight? How's that work?
That's the way it's been working lately.
Why not? They're like trophies, bro.
Look,
but I will say this for the viewers that don't know this. Like this thing, I sit in traffic on the 405. I'm not on the tracks. He actually races his cars. Like you actually put work in them.
Yeah, I take it to the track. This one, the Challenger I used to take to the track for the drag strip. But this I take to the track for road course. Great car. That's what it's built for.
Amazing car.
When they came out in 2017, I read it broke 13 records in North America, track records. It beat every other car that was there.
I love it because it's 6-speed. They don't make it.
And they got the stick shift. You know, they got that stick shift. They got the rear wheel drive. My buddies, they all got their nice cars like the GTR that I was telling you about, the BMW, all that. But that stick is something different.
It feels more like a car, like a real car.
I love it. You know,
me too, man. I miss it.
You know, I bought this actually after the Broner fight.
Did you?
I bought this after the Adrian Broner fight, like a month after.
Is it kind of like a trophy for you, or no? It's just something to do.
Nah, it's just, I've always liked the Viper. I've always been a fan. I already had that one red one that I was telling you about. So when I had an opportunity to buy something else, I bought this, and it's the last generation. It's a commemorative edition GTSR, number 3 of 100. Only 100 of them. Yeah. So I was able to get my hands on it, and I said, I'm getting it. There's no doubt.
And then if I were to walk in your garage, how many cars are we talking?
Well, the nice ones. I have my daily driver is my Ram. I have a Ram, 2500, Dodge Ram 2500. I use that for work. I pull my trailers. I take it to the trash. I take it to
kids
dump.
are in there.
Kids, I take it everywhere.
Wiping their hands in the seats. Yeah.
I take it everywhere. But I have my Challenger, like I said, it's a 2010 Challenger SRT that I completely tricked out.
The thing's hooked up.
Sent it out to Richard Petty's garage in North Carolina.
So you just sent it to him and he hooked it up?
They hooked it up. They built a one-of-a-kind build for me, 1 of 1. So it's got serial number 1 of 1. It's my favorite, actually.
So you got that, then what else are we talking
Then
about?
recently, this past, it was basically a birthday gift to myself. I bought me a Lamborghini SV, Aventador SV.
How dare you?
Black Aventador SV. And right after, I had already basically ordered the car right before the fight with Spence. I ordered SVJ. So a week after the fight, they get delivered.
You're damn
SVJ.
Right you bought that after the fight.
So,
you also earned it.
Right there,
you know what I'm saying? Just for, I mean, no matter what, and I know we're talking about cars right now, but I don't view it as a negative thing, man.
No,
with that
look,
right?
with certain cars, like I kick my ass in the ring. I do all the work in the training. I think I deserve a treat myself once in a while. And that's kind of like the mindset before buying a car. But I also try to pick cars that I like specifically for me, not just because they're popular, because it's the newest thing.
Yeah.
Certain cars that I like, but also end up having something special that are collectible in a certain way, or very sought after.
Agreed.
And that those cars, the SV is 1 of 600.
That's nuts. And they mean something. It's not like you're just going to the lot buying whatever.
No. It's a special thing. The SVJ is 1 of 900. This is this is number 3 of 100. Yeah, they're special limited cars.
How many kids do you have?
I have 3.
You have 3.
Yeah.
They're
into cars.
They love the cars.
It all starts. If you remember, it all starts with 99-cent Hot Wheel.
Oh yeah.
We all play with the Hot Wheels. Well, once we grow up, if we can afford it,
True.
we go and buy the real deal.
Do your kids realize how much of a badass their dad is? Or are they like, we
I don't
got a
think so.
Lamborghini? Another one? All right, that's cool. Do they realize what's
I
going
don't
on?
think they realize.
They have no idea, huh?
For them, it's just a normal thing.
I don't know how I deal with it with my son. I got a 3-year-old, and like we went to Disneyland, we went to Legoland. We get like the VIP where we skip the line, and we're going on the ride twice, and he gets all this free stuff. I'm like, dude, when I was a kid, we'd wait in line for 3 hours. It was like family bonded.
Yeah.
Like you have no idea, dude.
Yeah, they don't.
So I don't know what you do though.
See, with us, like, okay, it's funny, like going back to when I was growing up. You got to go and touch a little bit on my dad, my mom, and raising us as a family. I was born, to a family, poor family. My dad, my mom, humble beginnings. Very poor, working the strawberry fields in Oxnard.
That's where your work ethic from.
Just to raise the family. I was born in a 1-bedroom trailer home in a trailer park.
Oh damn.
My dad had, I was the youngest,
8 miles.
seven, yeah, just like that.
Yeah.
It was 7 of us in a 1-bedroom trailer, including my mom and dad. That makes 9. That's where we come from. That's where I come from. That's where I was born.
You just want to buy a trailer and put your kids in it just so they like.
Now they all got their own home. I already got homes for everybody set aside.
You're
I got
doing it
college,
right, bro.
I got college funds set aside.
Dude, what do you do, Mikey? Like
retirement accounts. I got all that.
They've never
set
had to
up.
go through that. So like your sons, they might have the skill set and the athletic ability, but no one's, they're name the best boxer that came out of Malibu or Calabasas with their dads driving Lamborghinis and Vipers.
It's not. See, that's all they know. That's all they know. They all only know the nice, good things like that. But we try to remind them, through the stories, through my dad, through my mom, where we come from, what it took us to get to where we are now.
But they also see Papa waking up at 5 in the morning doing road work.
They see me working. They come to the gym once in a while to see me spar. They go. My little one says, "Oh, when are we gonna go to the big gym?" He calls the arenas a big gym. He says, "Oh yeah, a lot of people go see my daddy at the big gym."
Oh, that's cool.
And he's bleeding in the big gym because he sees me fighting. So he does see that, and my older one sees all that. He gets sentimental. He cries in the fights.
I bet.
My daughter too. She's gonna be 12 on Friday, so she's more aware of everything. She'll get sentimental and cry. And
Here's the other thing, Mikey, is like you lost this last fight. Before that, you've never lost. So to them, they're like, oh, you box, you win, you get Lamborghinis. It's like, no. Oh, you box, you win, you jump around divisions. Like, no, your dad's one of the greatest of all time, man.
See,
they have no idea, right?
They still don't have that. They
want me to
can't
come over and
comprehend
tell them?
we
I'm like, dude, what are you guys doing? What are you doing? Don't touch the car. Like, I don't know what you do, man.
They just are born in this now, so for them it's normal.
Do you think
I grew up
either
different.
be a fighter?
I think the little one might. He takes off his shirt and starts shadow boxing.
Dude, think of the knowledge.
He goes and punches things.
Think of the knowledge his uncle and his dad can drop on him.
I asked
him.
him.
You got to hope one of them's kind of interested.
Well, I wouldn't push him. Okay, I wouldn't push him.
Yeah.
But he already has a nice little stance.
Yeah.
He's already punching the bag whenever
he goes.
He's 4.
All right.
I asked him, what are you gonna do when you grow up? I'm gonna be champion. Like who? Like dad? Like you?
Here we go.
And I asked him, you gonna be champion? He says, yeah. Where do you want to fight? The big gym. I want to fight in the big gym.
Dude, they're gonna air this 20 years from now when he's fighting for a world title.
He's already got that, in him, and you just see it. So I think he's the one that could potentially be the fighter. Like I said, I'm not gonna push him, but if he wants to do it, I'm definitely gonna support him.
And the resources
definitely gonna help
there.
him. With my dad still around, with my brother and my nephew, Pita, the knowledge is just unbelievable.
Your brother, obviously, rightfully so. I mean, he's one of the most respected trainers in the world.
Yes.
I mean,
one of the most accomplished in
most
recent
accomplished,
times.
most respected. There's probably 3, and your brother's definitely one of those 3. How's he? Because I'm sure the guys come to the gym want him to train him, right?
Well, they hit us up. The gym is private now. He had an open gym, and obviously there was always people coming in. That was in Oxnard. He sold that gym, came down to Riverside. Now he only has his private gym for his professional fighters. He has, I don't know, about 25 professional fighters that he has to work with. So it's a lot of work. Yeah. So he doesn't really take anybody else. It's a private gym, but we do get hit up on Instagram, Twitter, all the time, nonstop. For guys that want an opportunity to come to the gym, they just want us to teach them a little bit, and it's very sad to say no. It's hard that you have to say no.
It's also a good thing,
but if we were to take everybody, then we wouldn't have enough time to give them back.
Yeah, your brother, we spread too thin. They can't put the effort into the world champion.
just because you would be at the gym doesn't mean that my brother would even have the time to even touch you.
Even if I'm a world champion, he doesn't have time.
Yeah. So it's just too difficult to do that. So, he has to keep the roster where it's at right now. He starts like at 9 in the morning and does 2-hour sessions with every group of guys. So he'll start like at 9,
much work, man.
And then at 11, second group, and
He
1.
must love it.
He loves it.
Yeah,
he says he enjoys this career as a trainer more than when he was a world champion.
But you're his pride and joy, I'd assume, yeah? You guys have accomplished some pretty crazy stuff.
I've accomplished a lot with him and my dad, so I think it's just more special. It's just that much more special when it's your brother, when it's your family.
100%.
When I won my first world title, I mean, that was exciting. We're champions, but it was like, whatever. My second time, same thing. My third one, when I beat Dejan, I felt happier. I felt in a better place. And it was special because it was for the WBC title, a title that my dad had always wanted to bring home.
That's so cool.
He was never able to get that with Fernando Vargas. He didn't get that with Robert. And now I get to bring that home to my dad. That's what made it special. Like I said, that family, that we're celebrating together, and it's for him.
I love
that made it more special for me.
That's cool, man.
And I've won other titles.
Yeah.
But that one is my favorite for that reason. For that reason.
That's cool, brother.
Yeah.
Well, how was your quesadilla?
No cheese on mine, bro.
Was it nice though?
It's bomb. It really is good. You didn't even finish yours, bro.
Well, no, I did. I finished one. I hit it under here.
I gotta try some churro.
I should try that, although it makes you sick. I'll try the churro.
Get the churro.
Well, whatever weight class you fight at next, and whoever it is, I'll be tuning in. But you need to teach me how to race cars, dude.
Let's do it.
That's the next time I see you racing cars.
Look,
should we do pink slips, or what do you want to do?
Oh shit! Are you sure?
Nah.
I'll take you on that one.
Nah, I'm just kidding, man.
I know I
don't
beat
race
you.
You probably will.
And then I'll take that baby out too.
I know.
Nah.
To the rightful owner.
But
it needs to be.
I wouldn't. What if my car breaks down for some reason and then you beat me?
I know.
I don't want to get rid of it. Nah, hell no.
I wouldn't do that to you, brother. Dude, I appreciate the time, man.
Let's go to the track though.
Let's do it. That's the plan. Next time I see you, we'll be at the track.
You got one of the best cars in the world. She's beautiful. You gotta take her out.
That's the plan, brother. I appreciate it, man.
Let's do it.
Thanks so much. You're the best. Mikey Garcia.